Hey, what's up? So this is going to be a different type of video. I do love The Witcher 3. I know most of you guys already understand that I love Kingdom Hearts and I do a lot of theories and just videos about Kingdom Hearts. But let's switch it up on the channel for a bit and do some Witcher 3 theories. Sorry, my bad. So I don't know if anything's going around about the ending of The Witcher 3, but I'll just throw this theory out there. I wrote this down a long time ago and I didn't get it out, so let's get it out right now. So as you can tell from the title, Ciri isn't dead in any of the endings, and that's what I want to lead with. So let's get into it. The game makes us believe that Ciri is dead because of all the endings were from the point of view of Geralt. We are Geralt, so that means that we're seeing the endings from our point of view. This means that we are not allowed to know what's happened to any of the other characters who aren't directly interacting with us or Geralt in the ending sequences. So basically that sets up my whole theory. I'm gonna let y'all watch my intro and be back in a bit. Okay, so my first point to back up this theory is the fact that in one of the endings, I call this the moderate ending, Ciri is clearly alive because we ended up interacting with her. However, she didn't want anyone else to know she was alive. A better way to explain this is for us to put ourselves in Emperor Emir's point of view, okay? Geralt lies to him and says that Ciri is dead, and Ciri doesn't want him, Emperor Emir, to know that she is alive. So from his point of view, Emperor Emir's point of view, this is the bad ending where Ciri is dead. But Geralt's point of view, she is alive and well, but in hiding. So if you switch up your point of view and pretend you were playing as Emperor Emir this entire time, to him right now that's the bad ending, but to Geralt it's like a good ending, but to us we know all the stuff, so I call it the moderate ending. We'll get into more of the other stuff right now. I want to make a point. The memories Ciri remembers before going into the portal of light cannot possibly have a drastic outcome as to whether or not she lives or dies. However, the outcome it does have is her choosing who she should return to and after she comes back from that portal of light. So bad memories will just make her hate Geralt and thus choose not to show herself to him and the people close to him. This is the reason why the bad ending we think Ciri is dead, because from our point of view she simply chose to make it seem like this. So this is kind of like just point of view stuff like that. And this is why from Emperor Emir's point of view, you know, he thinks it's the bad ending, Geralt thinks it's the good ending. Perfectly good memories, however, she will feel like there's no reason for her to hide from anyone, so she'll essentially be out in the open for everyone to know she's still alive. Because no bad memories interfering with her logic, she eventually made this assumption that it would be best for her and for everyone if she became Empress and she revealed herself to everyone. So basically that's the best ending, basically, because everyone knows she's alive and she made a conscious decision to become Empress instead of a Witcher, because, you know, it'll work out for the best of everyone in the continent and stuff like that. I would pretty much label this a point of view theory of the ending of Witcher 3. So if you had to explain it to anyone, and just basically tell them this theory is revolving around people's point of view and perspectives. So basically it all has to do with the point of view. Ciri is the one controlling what the truth is for everyone by choosing who she reveals herself to. I also feel like people would not come to this conclusion if all you did was watch one ending. The best way to see this theory in action is to watch all of the endings one after another. You could do that on YouTube. They have all the endings with no gameplay in between and stuff like that. Also, I would like to point out, Geralt is the only one out of the two of them that dies in one of the endings. Before you say that the camera panned out before we could see what happened, just remember he was fighting the crone and then she told him she can smell the scent of suicide coming from Geralt. So basically, even though I'm saying Ciri cannot have been dead, what whatever she chose does affect everyone else around her. So there's a possibility that Geralt did die in one of the endings. So anyway, I want to say, like, they say that this may be the end of the story in The Witcher 3 for Geralt's perspective, or Geralt's story. So people were wondering if we could ever play as Ciri or in another Witcher game. And this theory is here to prove that yes, we probably can, because no matter what the ending Witcher 3 left off in, Ciri, in my theory, did not die. So the next game could come off explaining everything that I said, like Ciri chose not to show herself in any of the endings. She was never really dead, and then the game could start like that. The game cannot, another Witcher game cannot incorporate Geralt, because one of the endings did have him die. And you know the dilemma with different endings in video games, where you cannot, like, it's hard to ignore one of the endings just to make another game follow up. So yeah, I don't see Geralt ever being playable again, but Ciri possibly, because this theory lets that happen. Oh, and if this video does good, oh, I see the comments right now. Well, you just mentioned that the crone mentioned that she could smell the smell of suicide coming off of Geralt. So what about the other things that the crone mentioned? So yeah, in this game, the crones do know everything. At this point, only one crone is still living, and because we killed the other two. So here's the thing, she also says that Ciri died, and that means a lot because the crones know everything that happens in their forest or their world. So she says that Ciri died, but you know what? For the sake of this theory, what does she know? She's just a crone. We killed her anyway. And this is just a theory. Again, wait, that's the wrong YouTube channel. Well, anyway, subscribe to my channel if you want more theories on The Witcher 3. Thanks for watching. I also do theories on Kingdom Hearts. I do a lot of streaming on my channel also. Leave a like. Don't forget to leave a comment telling me what flaws there were in this theory. Tell me what you think about the 3 endings, which ending did you prefer, and what you think could happen in another Witcher game. I'd love to read all your comments. Thanks for watching. Leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and that's it.